The new coaches poll is out, and Illinois football debuts at 12. 12! Oh boy.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome one, welcome all to another edition of Locked On Illini. Thank you all so much for making us your first listen each and every day. We're so proud to be a part of the Locked On Network. My name is Verma, your host here at Locked On, where I continue to provide you coverage daily. That's right, every single day. All of this is absolutely free. The only thing I ask for in return is, if you don't mind, make sure you hit that like button, letting me know you're watching, and make sure you're subscribed. We passed over 3,300 subs on YouTube over the weekend. Still a ways away from my goal, which I had set for 4,000 by the time football season kicks off, which is August 29th. But who knows? With the fanfare of this community, who knows? Maybe that 4,000 can still be done. Today, we're going to be talking about football because news was made on Monday that Illinois football, yes, Illinois football, debuted at number 12 on the USA Today coaches poll. Go ahead, take a minute. I'll let that sink in. I believe this is the second highest preseason ranking we've had in school history. This is a sign that coaches all around the country and the establishment are saying, hey, we see you. But here's the reality. While it's exciting, while it's certainly fun, this number ultimately means nothing. If Illinois doesn't show up and deliver this fall, then all of it was for naught. And today, we're going to break down why this ranking matters, why it doesn't, and why Bret Bielema, this coaching staff, and these players are officially on the clock. So as of today, let me be clear. This ranking is significant, especially when you consider where this program is coming from. According to quick research, the last time Illinois was even ranked in the preseason was 2008. And that's coming off that Rose Bowl season. That team opened at 19. Before that, you're digging into history books, years filled with what ifs, near misses, and rebuilding seasons. So yeah, in a lot of ways, this season is validation. This is the national football world saying Illinois could absolutely be for real. And it comes on the back of a 10-win season, of course, the Citrus Bowl victory, and 4 ranked wins in 2024. But now is when things get real, because preseason polls are exactly that. Preseason. They're a reflection of last year's results and off-season hype. Really, not much more than that. Ask any Illini fan who's been around long enough. We've seen this movie. In 2008, the top 20 ranking vanished fast after a rocky start. Even more recently, there have been years where the buzz never materialized into wins. So while the number 12 ranking feels good today, it doesn't help you when you're lining up against Washington on the road or USC under the lights in Champaign. Bret Bielema himself said, some people give expectations, and that's great. But for us at Illinois, we have to earn them. The way we've earned these expectations will be the way we earn success this year. And he's right. Because right now, this ranking is just simply a target. And Illinois, for the first time in decades, is no longer the underdog. They're going to be one of the teams that are hunted. So how did Illinois reach this level of national respect? Let's start with roster continuity. Illinois returned 16 starters, including stars Luke Altmaier, who threw for over 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, I believe. Gabe Yakis, who I talked about extensively on Monday's episode, 8 sacks, 13 for loss, legitimate All-American candidate. Plus, you have the NFL hopefuls like Xavier Scott and J.C. Davis on both sides of the football. But also, on top of that, you talk about coaching stability for the first time under Bret Bielema. All 3 coordinators returned. The core leadership is veteran heavy. This team has been built, not bought overnight. And the portal added firepower too, including Hudson Clement, the West Virginia transfer with over 700 yards last year. And we have young up-and-coming wide receivers like Malik Elzy and Colin Dixon, who could break out this fall. Quarterback Luke Altmaier summed it up best. We asked to be talked about in the polls. That means you're doing something pretty good. But we understand what's important. We're an older group. If we don't do what we have to do on a random Tuesday in July, then you're going to struggle in the fall. That is the mindset you need, especially now that it's obvious that the country is watching. This year feels different, not just because of the ranking, but because of all this momentum. Illinois isn't being handed hype. At this point, they've earned it. 10 wins, a big bowl victory, player development, guys staying in the program instead of jumping ship or going to the NFL. The Big Ten media has Illinois picked fourth, behind only Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. That's elite company. And the national rankings, Fox has Illinois at 10, ESPN at 11, CBS and 24/7 both in the top 15. This isn't just a one-off fluke. Illinois is being recognized. Even Vegas is noticing. The over-under win total, according to FanDuel, is 8.5. That's the highest it's been in years. But none of that matters unless you handle your business. And here's where the conversation flips. With the top 15 ranking comes expectation. And with expectations come accountability. This is where Brett Bielema and his staff have to earn those paychecks. Because now it's no longer about building, it's about delivering. And that is an entirely different job. There's no wait till next year anymore. Next year is here. It's go time. The staff has the pieces. They have the schedule. Remember, there's no Michigan, no Penn State, no Oregon. They have the fan momentum. They are selling out seats. They have the returning core. They even have transfer depth. What they don't have is room for excuses. This team has to go out and win the games it's supposed to win and steal a few that it's not. That's how top 15 teams operate. Illinois is going to open under the lights against Western Illinois on August 29th, 6:30 p.m. on Peacock. But from there, the road starts to get real. We're going to have a game at Duke. Later on in the season, we have games at Washington. Of course, we have home games against USC, Ohio State, and very tough trips to places like Bloomington for the Indiana game. It's a schedule with trap games, but also statement opportunities. A 10-win season isn't just possible. At this point, some people, it's an expectation. And you know what? Overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think that's a great thing. But it's also new territory. The message from inside the program seems clear. We know what this means. Now we have to go and prove it. So you let me know right now at 12, when you saw that ranking, too high, too low, or exactly where this team belongs. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what your win prediction is for Illinois this season. I'm guessing in about 2 weeks or so, I'm going to do my game-by-game prediction. And I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't know where I'm going to stand. I can go, honestly, as low as 7 wins. I can go as high as 10, maybe even 11 wins. So right now, I feel like I change my mind every single day when it comes to the game-by-game. How many games is this Illinois football team going to win? But seeing the expectations now being set forth, you're not going to surprise anyone. You're debuting at number 12 in the coaches poll. With that, it comes a sense of just being unfamiliar with what this feels like. I talked about this on X. It's one of those where I see it and I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. But with the years of being an Illini football fan and seeing how we followed up these successful seasons, I am admittedly a little bit worried. But Coach Bielema has been very insistent that at some point we have to drop the past. And I will say that if any coach can do that for Illinois football and make us feel comfortable in what's going to be the new reality, well, it's Coach Brett. At this point, we'll see. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. As a user of Monarch Money, it really surprised me just how much me and the missus were spending on takeout every single week. In order to fix our budget, we decided we need to make some tough decisions, something we wouldn't have realized if it wasn't shown to us by Monarch. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. In every great college basketball season, there always seems to be one player who emerges. Not just a stat sheet filler, but kind of the guy who ends up being the heart and soul of the team. And for the 2025-2026 season, in regards to the Fighting Illini, I think that engine, that voice, and that leader might end up being Kylan Boswell. When last year's season ended in heartbreak, of course, falling to Kentucky in the NCAA tournament, many assumed Illinois would undergo another roster reset. And in a lot of ways, it did. Troy White, gone. Morez, gone. Several other names hit the portal. Expectations were uncertain, but one guy stood tall and decided to stay. That was Kylan Boswell. Of course, a Champaign native, a dynamic floor general, a guy who closed last season averaging nearly 17 points per game over the final stretch. He didn't just return, he recommitted essentially to the Illini and to his teammates and to being a leader. And that decision might be one of the biggest ones when it comes to impact next year. During recent media availability, Boswell didn't mince words. This offseason, different. The energy elevated, the standard higher than ever. And he said it plainly. We're working harder than any group I've ever been a part of. Guys are locked in from start to finish, hungry to prove themselves after a tough exit last year. Sounds like a little bit like leadership, right? Like ownership. And that's exactly what Illinois needs from what could be their starting point guard. The vibe in Ubin seems to be intense, competitive. No one seems to be coasting. No one going through the motions, as Boswell puts it. Every rep counts. And he's not just barking orders, he's lifting up the younger guys too. In particular, he shouted out freshman Keaton Wagler, calling him way more impactful than most people think. In fact, his exact words were, he's cold, just flat out, he's really, really good. Again, you want the guy who's in charge of your locker room, the leader, to lift the young players' spirits up, especially now with the uncertainty behind Mahalo and obviously with the absence of Ty Rodgers on the roster for the foreseeable future, at least. We know Keaton's going to be counted on for significant minutes. And so you're going to want his confidence high up there. And you can get that confidence when you believe that the leader in the locker room believes in you. Kylan's not only just leading by example, but also by building belief in those around him. And what really stands out about Boswell this offseason isn't just what he's saying, it's what he's owning. He talked candidly about last season, acknowledging the good, but not ignoring the flaws. He said there's unfinished business. He mentioned lapses in focus, turnovers that proved costly, and he's attacking those weaknesses head on. His personal goals, he said he wants to shoot over 40% from deep, cut turnovers to under 2 a game, and become the engine of the team, not just offensively, but emotionally and mentally. It's something rare in today's college game. You know what? Self-awareness, accountability, and a hunger not just to improve, but to continue to evolve. And this isn't leadership by default. Boswell didn't become the guy just because he's the oldest or the most talented. He chose to be the voice. It looked like he's embraced that role. With Kasparis gone to the NBA and the uncertainty behind Petrovic, as of right now, this is fully Kylan Boswell's backcourt, and he knows what that means. He says, I need to be a guy who calms us down when we're rattled, but also get us to play with relentless swag and energy. That duality, that's what's going to eventually win in March, and that's what's going to help make Illinois dangerous. The great thing about Kylan is that he does it on both ends. Boswell has challenged himself to set the tone defensively this season. If you aren't talking, if you aren't helping your brother, you won't survive in the Big Ten. That's sure, it's coach speak, but that's culture. Nationally, Illinois is starting to get some love. ESPN's got them in the top 20. We know Andrei Stojakovic transferred in. Thomas Slavovicic is back. Ty Rogers was back. Unfortunately, he's going to be hurt this year. But, overall, there's some positive buzz to this basketball team. But Boswell isn't buying into the hype, at least not blindly. All the preseason buzz won't mean a thing if we aren't locked in every practice and game. He said that multiple times. And so you can tell that he absolutely means it. Still, that doesn't mean he's scared of those expectations. In fact, it seems like he's leaning into them. On social media, on podcasts, he even told the Sleepers Pod, we're going to be really good. People don't realize the fire we've got after last year. That fire, it's showing up in workouts, in the way he's talking about team chemistry, and in how he's gassing up his new teammates. He sees potential. He sees growth. But most importantly, it looks like he sees the path. This season matters, and for a lot of reasons. For Illinois, for Brad Underwood, for fans who are starving for another second weekend NCAA run, but it may matter most for Kylan Boswell himself. This is probably his final year in Champaign. The professional scouts are watching. His stock, hopefully, will be rising. But Boswell isn't just chasing a draft slot. He's chasing legacy. Keep in mind, he was one of the youngest players in college basketball when he debuted at Arizona. And there was a weird rivalry between grown men and saying very rude and inappropriate things about Kylan Boswell since he came to Champaign. Again, it's his legacy. And what did Kylan have to say? I want this season to be the one people remember. When Illinois put it all together, and it started with how we grinded in this summer. That's the type of quote that you put on the walls in the locker room. Because right now, that grind, it's being led by the hometown kid who's grown into a man, who's become a leader, and maybe, just maybe, the difference maker Illinois has been waiting for. I think a lot of the 2025-26 Illini season will be dictated by how far Kylan Boswell can take them. He doesn't need to be an all Big Ten guard. He's not just a point guard. He's not just a captain. He's the voice, and he's making sure everyone is heard. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. Me and my group of friends, we like to go to the local driving range, and literally the goal is who can hit it the farthest. That tells you folks that we're not very good at golf, and that's just, there are a lot of machismo going on, but that's just what we do. It's just passing the time getting out of the house. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the beverage cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. And welcome back to Locked On Illini. If you haven't already, make sure you've hit the like button on this video, because if you haven't, why not? A couple notes before I let you go. We do have some updates both in football and in basketball. On football, Coach Brett Bielema met with the media on Monday evening and confirmed that J.C. Davis, who I did say was in a walking boot, looks like he has plantar fasciitis, and he's expected to be out a week or two, but he should be okay before the season starts. And also freshman offensive lineman J.J. Hurds is, because of his knee, he's also going to be out for the season. So unfortunate, but, hopefully as long as JC's back in time for Western Illinois, I think, we should be okay. Also, if you're in the Talk Illini Discord, the link should be in the description. You'll know that I think Illini basketball might be getting a commitment sometime soon. I'm referencing a Landon Davis out of Iowa. I'll get more into depth with him if things continue to go the way it looks like it's going. That's a commitment that could happen. Who knows? As soon as Tuesday. But if he, from what I gather, he's going to be making a decision sometimes this week. And if you take a look at the competition, this is a recruitment that, if Coach Brad Underwood wants to win, he should be able to win. Now, quite honestly, some of you are going to be checking his rankings for the first time now. Hearing this, you might not be satisfied. And I understand some of your concern. But again, if it were to happen, we'll talk about it then. But for now, just keep your eyes and ears open. I did forget to wish a special happy birthday to Josh Whitman, the AD. He turned 47 years old on Monday, and Josh is one of those guys. He's the reason that right now both programs, Illinois football and Illinois basketball, might be debuting in the top 15 in the preseason. I would argue Josh Whitman is the most important player in Illinois athletics history, outside maybe Red Grange, of course, way back when. But Josh is just one of those guys where, I'll say it again, we can't take these times for granted. Josh can be successful in whatever he wants to ultimately do, and maybe his aspirations at some point will go beyond Illinois athletics, but until that day, we should all be very grateful that he is an alum. If you watched Monday's episode, you saw that I gave a lot of love to Gabe Yakis, and on Monday, Gabe Yakis got some love from The Athletic. He made the Football Freaks list, and this is what was said about Gabe, who came in at number 59. The former state champion wrestler from Florida has been a menace to opponents. Last year, Yakis made 74 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 10 quarterback hurries, 3 forced fumbles. He has lost over 7% of his body fat from last season to the start of this season. The 6'3", 270-pound Yakis is now under 12%. He has hit over 20 miles per hour on the GPS and bench pressed 225 pounds for 30-plus reps. Also, a special shout-out to Zach Barliv, the former Illini offensive lineman who now plays at Old Dominion, who also made the list. Sometime next week, I'm going to do a My Guy episode and also a Flag Players. And basically, if you're not familiar with that, my guys are guys that you probably know, but I'm going to pick one guy on the offensive side and the defensive side who I think are going to have be the key pieces to both sides of the football team. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on who you would pick. Also, my Flag Players are guys who I'm planting the flag on. Essentially, they may not be as known as some of the more star players on this team, but a guy who I think has the potential to explode to be one of the better players and one of the nice surprises of the season. So what I want is for you guys to let me know who your surprise players might be. Who's your flag guy? And also, who is your guy? A guy maybe you've been following along. He's going to be entering. He's going to be an upperclassman. And you think he's finally going to get his opportunity. Maybe you're going to plant him as your guy. Thank you for making Locked On Illini your first listen today. For your second listen, check out The Portal Show. Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. Be the most informed fan on the rapid changes to the college football landscape. Find The Portal on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, the season is right around the corner. If you have a certain idea that you want me to talk about on the show, send me an email, talkillini@gmail.com. Find me on your favorite social media. I'm on all of them. Instagram, X, even Blue Sky. Find me at Locked On Illini or Talk Illini, or reach out to me personally at the Sunny V, or just email me, talkillini@gmail.com. I have conversations with all of you each and every day. Also, I did want to mention, if you want to be involved with the show, this is a show about the community. If you want to come on and you want to talk football with me, if you want to talk basketball with me, reach out to me. These opportunities were made to me back a couple of years ago, and I want to kind of pay it forward. So if maybe you're a young kid, maybe a student at the University of Illinois, or you just want to kind of have your first big break and talk sports here via audio podcast or on YouTube, this could be your breakthrough. Just there's only one way to find out, and that's if you reach out to me. But again, that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to have a lot of content for you. Again, we might have some rapid reactions this week. The only way you know you're not going to miss anything is if you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Until next time, ILL. Love you guys.